Good vach and welcome to BJC Mitzvah Day, number 169, part 1, a new mitzvah. Mitzvah Day keeps us on its way. Parshas Tazria. And today's mitzvah is entitled the tumah, the impurity of a metzora. We'll learn all about it. Okay. Says the verse, if a person will have on the skin of his flesh a se'es, or a sepachas, or a vaheres, and it will become a tsaras affliction on the skin of his flesh, he shall be brought to Aaron the Kohen, the high priest, or to one of his sons, the Kohanim. This right now is not a mitzvah that's practical today, but God willing, it will come back to us with Mashiach's arrival and the rebuilding of the BJC Mikdash, the temple. This verse is the first in the lengthy passage detailing the laws of a metzora, a person afflicted with a skin condition known as tsaras. But it was an affliction due to an aveira, a sin, not a physical affliction that can be healed by a doctor. The person is brought before a Kohen who examines the tsaras and, depending on whether certain conditions are present in it, declares the person tumah, ritually impure, or tahar, ritually pure. It is also possible for the status of the tsaras to be inconclusive, in which case the Kohen orders that the tsaras be confined for 7 days. He says, see the insight. After which he must appear before the Kohen for another examination. The details of when tsaras is considered tumah, impure, and when it is not, are set forth in subsequent verses in the passage and discussed by the Chinuch and the author in this mitzvah. The term tsaras is often associated with leprosy, but this is actually a misnomer. The Rambam, Maimonides, writes, tsaras is a generic term encompassing many matters that are not alike. For a whitening of a person's skin is called tsaras. The loss of some hair of the head or the beard is called tsaras. And a change in the appearance of garments or houses is called tsaras. So the Rambam goes on to explain that in the case of garments or houses, tsaras had no natural basis at all. Rather, it was a supernatural phenomenon that served to deter the Jewish people from speaking lashon hara, disparaging speech. If one spoke lashon hara, first the walls of his house were visited with tsaras discoloration, which would disappear if he repented, but otherwise could lead to the demolition of his house. That's going to be mitzvah number 177. If he persisted with his evil speech, his garments were affected by a tsaras discoloration, which could lead to their being burned. That's going to be mitzvah 172. If he still did not mend his ways, his body would become afflicted with tsaras in a manner that would cause him to be declared tumah, impure, as a metzora, leading him to be banished from the camp, i.e. the entire city of Jerusalem or any other walled city in Eretz Yisrael, so that he would lose contact with people and be forced to rectify his misdeeds. That's mitzvah 171. The metzora was the only impure person who was banished from the camp. Other tumah people, impure people, were allowed in the camp and were excluded only from entering the BJC Mikdash, the temple, in some cases the Temple Mount. Okay, we'll go more into this, God willing, tomorrow. Thanks for listening to sponsor future mitzvah 36-100 Gold. We got a while with this mitzvah.